Okay, here we go, guys. Happy Sunday. It's your boy Stas here. Cheers, by the way. I appreciate you all for tuning in as we're about to break down a bunch of companies, a bunch of stocks, I think four of which are about to report earnings this week. Yeah, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, four of these are about to report earnings, and we have to break down the charts in general, the markets, what I'm doing in this high, uncertain environment that we're in. So guys, hit the like button, consider subscribing, join the Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, how I'm investing, trading, selling options here week in, week out, and you get access to my private Discord. All of that is linked down below right on Patreon, and it's also pinned in the comments. And with that being said, cheers again. Let me actually down this tiny amount of the double espresso I have left. Cheers, guys. And let's get right into it. So we are coming off of a nasty red day for stocks. Red week for stocks, for that matter. And all of you guys know that, right? On SPY, you can see we hit 675 in the middle of the week last week, and we got all the way down to 644 by the time right around close on Friday. So we're talking about a $30 spread, a 4.5% spread there on SPY from top to bottom, and it's not looking like the bulls are anywhere to be found, right? Yeah, we had a nice relief rally in the aftermarket, into close, into the aftermarket, but that could literally, like I said in my last video, that could be the rally that the stock market needs to see before this goes even lower. That could be the relief rally. This little rally here, and then, things are not looking good overseas right now. Over the weekend, things are escalating, it seems like. So, guys, SPY could easily get hit at 658, 655 this upcoming week, which it kind of ran to that level in the aftermarket. So that relief rally could be met with a rejection literally right where we are now. Resistance is right here in the mid-high 650s, and that's where we're at. And on the Qs, you guys can see same thing. We hit 578. We had a crazy drop on Friday, and overall last week, let me see the top to bottom move. So we hit 608. We got down to 578. So that's about a 4.5%, 5% spread. We got that recovery rally in the aftermarket, but we're right by that resistance at about 590, 585. So I feel like this recovery rally could be met with, I think it will be met with a rejection, some hard resistance, whatever you want to call it, come Monday morning. And we'll see tonight on the futures how those open up. I'm curious to see how they open up. But as of now, man, I'm expecting more red. And does that mean it's going to happen for sure? Guys, of course not. I mean, look, we could open up Monday, Tuesday, rip like crazy. And yeah, I mean, that could happen. But the way things are setting up, I think we're due for some more pain before glory, whatever you want to call it, And the Qs, man, if they take out 580, we're in for some more red, technically, on these charts. That would be a multi-month low, 5-6 month low pretty much if we took out 580. So keep your eyes on that level this week. And on SPY, watch out for about 645, 650. That's the 580 equivalent on the Qs. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. I think we're about to fall through here potentially this week. More red. Get ready. VIX could be going up higher. I think the VIX closed at 27. That's really nothing, honestly. I think the VIX, you can make a case it's going to go mid 30s, maybe 40. And if that happens, guys, I will be smashing that buy button. So let's talk about now a couple of names, a couple of stocks, companies I'm watching this week. A lot of these are reporting earnings, and some I'm just watching that are not reporting earnings. So Carnival Cruise Line, or Carnival Corporation, they're coming up on Friday. They're Friday, right? The 27th. Yeah, they're always on a Friday. So they're reporting earnings that day. And this stock, for obvious reasons, is down massively. $10 over the last, 45 days. So about 30% down over the last 45 days. A lot of that has to do with the price of oil going up. Obviously, as you guys know, that's affecting their business. Higher gas prices, higher oil prices means the cost of them doing business goes up, obviously. So this is one that I think once oil starts to come down, or we get any sign of, okay, the Middle East conflict is wrapping up for now, I think this one, you can make a case it snaps back aggressively. Even if in a quarter or two, their earnings might be, affected, impacted by this increase in the price of oil for however long it's been, month. Maybe when it's all said and done, oil will be elevated for like 2 months, 2.5 months, 2.5 months. Yeah, that could impact them down the line, but I think we're due for a snapback before that. And I think earnings maybe could cause that potentially, but really it's going to be the price of oil coming down. And I'm curious to see what management has to say about it during the earnings call, how overall their guidance is going to be, right? That's what's going to move the stock, right? That, and again, the price of oil coming down ultimately. So what should we expect from CCL? Well, EPS, analysts have them doing 18 cents versus 13 cents from last year on revenue of $6.14 billion on average versus $5.81 billion from last year. That would be up 5.6% year over year. So don't expect any crazy growth out of CCL. That's not what we're looking at here. Again, we're looking at a potential snapback with the price of oil coming down in the short term. And ultimately, if management gives us some more color on what's going on, guidance over the next couple months, quarter, 2 quarters, even that could cause this to go up in the short term. So CCL definitely at the top of the watch list this week for earnings. Definitely watching it. Onis is another one. ONDS is the ticker, which I know a lot of you guys pay attention to this company. I've never bought this stock. I got to be honest, never even traded it. But the chart looks pretty good into earnings. We have earnings coming up on, what day are they? They're on Wednesday, I think. Yeah, they're on Thursday. Excuse me. I'm mixing up my days, man. Let me double check this. No, 25th is Wednesday. Stas, you're a freaking idiot. Maybe you need some. Maybe I need some more double espressos this morning, guys. But yeah, it is. Yeah, Wednesday morning we have Onis, and their stock on Friday got hit about 6-7%. Not a big deal. But yeah, it's still uptrending. You guys see here, higher lows, higher highs, and you can even argue we have a cup and handle here. Pretty nice cup and handle on this, right? So the way I'm looking at it here technically is, okay, this needs to break 1150. Point blank period, 1150 to $12. That's been resistance for about a month and a half. We need to get out of there, right? And if we do, coupled with good earnings or maybe with hype heading into earnings on Monday, Tuesday, right? Maybe we fill this gap, start to fill the gap at least towards $15. So I like the way ONDS is setting up on the charts. Waiting for that 1150 break, ideally. Honestly, above $12 would be ideal for me. So I'm going to set an alert at 1150 for now, and we'll monitor it from there. Analysts have them doing EPS of -3, so they're going to lose 3 cents on the quarter on average versus the loss of 14 cents from last year. Honestly, not too bad there. They're getting better. The losses are narrowing. Revenue, $27.77 million is the average estimate. Get ready for this, guys, versus the $4.13 million from last year. So ONDS is expecting to grow about 570% year over year. Think about that, 570%. So it is a smaller company. It's a growth company, clearly. And for me to play it, again, I need to see it break 1150. What do you guys think? I'll put my alert at $12 now as well. Might as well do that. Mark is at or above $12. So Chewy is number 3. Chewy is on, I think, Thursday. They're typically on a Thursday, right? Or maybe I'm wrong again here, guys. I'm wrong again. Wednesday morning, Chewy, guys. Chewy's on Wednesday morning. And this stock, honestly, I have lost track of it. I don't know why it is down as much as it is down, but my goodness, well, from all-time highs, we all knew that. It's down big time. We hit 120 during the pandemic. Forget about that. But recently, we hit $45 back in September. Now we've cut in half. We're at 22, 23. That's not a good sign. I'm sure a lot of this has to do with, actually, I don't know. I don't even know what this has to do a lot with, honestly. I'm trying to think here, but I'm like, does this have to do with the war? No, it's been downtrending for a while. Does it have to do with, tariffs? Probably not. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is rough. Chewy is looking rough. Earnings maybe can revive the stock Wednesday morning. So analysts have them doing, and the thing is, guys, their growth is non-existent right now. Analysts have them doing 28 cents of EPS versus 28 cents from last year on revenue of $3.26 billion versus $3.25 billion from last year. That is up 0.5%, not 5, 0.5% year over year. So yeah, Chewy, not looking great. The stock chart honestly looks terrible, but watching it for maybe a recovery. And look, I'm not honestly looking to buy Chewy here, right? I'm just watching it for earnings. ONDS, I'm closer to buying if it breaks that 1150. And CCL, I actually want to buy once we get, oil to start coming down a bit. But man, Chewy, can't fight the trend on that one, genuinely. And PDD is another one. And by the way, hit the like button, guys. Consider subscribing if you find value in these videos. I appreciate you all for tuning in. As always, they're literally free. I mean, all these videos, they're not free for me, right? But for you, they're free. So consider subscribing, man. Hit that follow button. Hit the like button. I appreciate you all, as always. So PDD, which I always butchered this company. Wasn't it like Pinduoduo or Pindodo or some crap like that? Whatever. PDD, they're reporting earnings this week. Chinese company, by the way. They're on Wednesday. All these seem like they're on Wednesday, except for CCL. They're on Friday. So, or whatever. Yeah, Friday. So PDD, they're downtrending. Chart looks like crap on the 4-hour time frame. 3-year chart, 1-year chart, pretty much all look bad. So maybe something out of earnings could cause some sort of momentum here. Analysts have them doing earnings per share of $21 roughly and 8 cents versus $20.15 from last year on revenue of $124.89 billion versus $110.6 billion from last year. That would be growth of 13% year over year. Not bad, but again, for me to even consider this, I need to see the charts recover. I need to see it reverse, which at this point, guys, I'm not in any Chinese names except for XNET, and that's really the only one that I plan on owning for quite some time here. XNET, I think there's a lot of potential here for maybe a move to $10 plus. We've covered it before. No need to cover it again, but I think this one has a lot of opportunity. But I'll save that one for another video, guys. Those are the 4 main ones, though, that I'm watching earnings-wise: CCL, Onis, Chewy, and PDD. And when it comes to some other names here that I'm looking to buy this week, especially if stocks slip, which I have a feeling we're gonna sell off more here. I've been stacking cash the last week to 10 days. Other than my, of course, weekly DCA buys in my retirement accounts, for VTI, VXUS. I'm still doing that. I'm still buying that stuff, right? On repeat, no matter what. But when it comes to individual stocks, right? I haven't bought anything the last 10 days, right? 7, 10, 14 days at this point. I'm still depositing money in my individual stock portfolios, but I'm letting it sit. I'm stacking it, getting that sweet old money market, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Tesla to come down to 350. Maybe it comes down lower, but I don't know if it will. I don't think it will, actually. I think Tesla at 350 is a screaming deal in the short term, especially with my thesis that we're going to 500 this year or early next year. I think it's coming. So Tesla, I like it here as we're filling the gap down to 350, being very patient. I haven't bought Tesla, in the 300s yet. I'm really being patient on it. And Nvidia, of course, I'm looking to buy more this week. I almost bought more in the aftermarket on Friday at 172, 173. Didn't pull the trigger. Looking to see if we maybe take the 170 mark out this week, which honestly would be surprising to me. But if we did it, I'd be buying more at 165. That gap could fill. So I like Nvidia and Meta. I like Meta this week as well when it comes to Mag 7, Big Tech. All of these I think are pretty good values here. Really, Meta is a great value. Nvidia is solid as well. Tesla, maybe from a traditional valuation perspective, not the best here, but I like it because of just overall Elon, SpaceX going public this year, XAI, right? The hype around robotics. I think a lot of that will pick up in the back half of the year, so I want to kind of position myself in Tesla for that. And yeah, man, that is what I'm looking at for this week. Part of what I'm looking at for this week. And we could ramble more and more on and on and on about a bunch more stocks, overall, what's going on in the Middle East, right? But there are other channels better for that, quite frankly, the Middle East content. So make sure you guys go check out whatever channels those are, and stay here for the markets, for the chart breakdowns, what to expect, all that stuff. That's what I love to do, so that's what we're going to continue to do. So make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, join the Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my portfolio updates and my private Discord. It's only $10 a month or $20 a month, depending on what plan you pick. And I think for the value, that's a great deal. So check it out, guys. Pinned in the comments, link down below, or go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon. And with that being said, I'll see you in there. Have a great rest of your day.